Hi, my name is Jason Harlow. Welcome to my V Office Hour. I'm going to go over Physics 132, Test 2 from fall 2009, multiple choice problem number 6. This is based on Knight 2nd edition, chapter 32, which is Fundamentals of Circuits. In particular, section 32.4 on series resistors, in which he discusses ammeters, and also section 32.6 on parallel resistors, in which he discusses voltmeters. Also, it's based on some of the practicals materials that were done in fall 2009. So first, let's carefully read the question. The digital multimeters you used in practicals can be set to either voltmeter mode to measure voltage or ammeter mode to measure current. You have a battery which is currently illuminating a light bulb. You wish to use your multimeter to measure the voltage drop across this light bulb or the current running through it. You should connect the multimeter to the light bulb in A. Series to measure the voltage in voltmeter mode, or parallel to measure the current in ammeter mode, B. Parallel to measure the voltage in voltmeter mode, or series to measure current in ammeter mode, C. Series to measure voltage in voltmeter mode, or series to measure current in ammeter mode, D. Series to measure voltage in voltmeter mode, or series to measure current in ammeter mode, or E. Series to measure voltage in voltmeter mode, but you cannot use the multimeter to measure current. So reading from Knight, page 977 on ammeters, a device that measures the current in a circuit is called an ammeter. Because charge flows through circuit elements, an ammeter must be placed in series with the circuit element. And then on page 982, it says a device that measures the potential difference across a circuit element is called a voltmeter. Because the potential difference is measured across a circuit element from one side to the other, a voltmeter is placed in parallel with the circuit element whose potential difference is to be measured. So the answer is B. Now let's take a look at the practical manual from E&M module 2. Okay, so here is E&M module 2, experiment activity number 5, in which we discover that when you have your multimeter set to ammeter mode to measure current, it must be inserted in series into the circuit. Okay, so the ammeter has a very low resistance, and what you do is if you have a battery on the left and a light bulb on the right, you need to break that circuit and insert the ammeter in series with the battery and the light bulb, and you'll measure the current going through this part of the circuit. Activity 6 from E&M Module 2 from the practicals. Basically, voltmeters, so if you have your multimeter set to volt mode, you should typically wire it in parallel across 2 points in the circuit. So if you have your battery over on the left and your bulb over on the right, and you want to measure what is the voltage increase across this battery, you would leave the circuit set up so that there's current running through the light bulb, and then just attach the voltmeter at these 2 points. So a voltmeter is wired to have a very high resistance, so very little current trickles out of the circuit through the voltmeter to measure this voltage. And not to beat this topic to death here, but here's one of the multimeters that you were using in practicals. And the idea is that when I have it set to this DC volt mode, it creates a very large internal resistance called the shunt resistance in the voltmeter, so that when you take the red and the black and put it across any circuit element, it draws a very, very small amount of current out through. And the multimeter's essential function is it has some internal electronics which measures current. So you draw a small amount of current, which hopefully doesn't change your circuit very much, and you measure that small amount of current, and that determines what the voltage drop is between the red and the black in your circuit. Whereas, if you set it to amp mode and plug it into milliamps, now what you've got is a very, very small resistance between the the red and the black. And the idea here is that you've got some current measuring or running through a circuit. You have to break the circuit and then insert this now ammeter in between, with the red at the higher voltage end and the black at the lower voltage end, and then that'll hook the circuit in series through this ammeter, and since the resistance is very small, it again won't affect the circuit very much, and how much current runs through here should be the same as the amount of current that was running through it when you didn't have the ammeter through. So that's it. My name is Jason Harlow, and I approve this message.